Okay, Lady Ada. Live.
Okay, great. We are live on air with another Hangout. Today is the official Day of Making Hangout.
Yeah, today is Day of Making, and this is a special Nation of Makers show and tell. The White House had talked to you, Lady Ada, and the timing didn't work out for you to leave the Adafruit factory to get there in time.
We've been to DC, though.
But and you talked to the president before. You were like, get on that patent reform thing.
On the internet,
yeah. And so what's cool, though, is they said, can you do some virtual stuff? Some online stuff. And we said,
we do a show on Wednesday anyway.
And we said on June 18th, we do show and tell and ask an engineer. So we'll just make it a special Nation of Makers show and tell. So all of you are representing a Nation of Makers. No pressure. But let's get the show on. Tony, how's it going? Show us your projects.
Yeah. So I have two things to show real quickly. So I was thinking it's National Day of Making. There should be some kind of a tradition or something that you do for that day. You know, on Christmas you decorate a tree. On Hanukkah you have a menorah. So I thought you should blink an LED. And so I've got just use anything to blink an LED.
National Day of Blinking.
Exactly.
LED blinking.
This is an LPC 810, which is total overkill. It's a 32-bit ARM processor. K-Town has a really good tutorial on the Learn site that I just followed to get it working. So it's full microcontroller that's just blinking a LED. It's like using a sledgehammer to drive a nail in. But it was kind of neat. I've never really dealt much with the ARM chip, so it's cool to play a little bit with these.
Maybe it'll be like it's like this is a good day to like blink LED on a platform you're not familiar with.
Exactly, yeah. Just make something.
You can blink an LED with a CPLD or like a Arduino or FPGA, whatever it takes.
Right. So then I'll show you real quickly. So I've been working on the BMP 85 or 180 pressure sensor. So it's a really nice barometric pressure sensor. Also has a temperature sensor, and it's hooked up to a BeagleBone Black. So there's a nice little Python library I put together that lets you use this. And you can see this has a Nokia LCD on the left, and then on the right is the pressure sensor. And it's showing the temperature right now, just because that's a little bit easier to change. And this is nice because it's just all driven by the BeagleBone Black. It's all Python scripts. The code's real simple, like maybe 15 lines of code or so to make it all work. So if I touch the sensor, you'll see basically the temperature goes up, and this is Celsius, so it's reading a little bit of a wacky temperature.
I don't know, for like American Day of Making and not allowed. Maybe for like international.
Yeah, that's true. That's a faux pas. But so that's basically it. So it's a nice little Python library to read the sensor. It uses I2C, so it's really easy to use with the BeagleBone Black or the Raspberry Pi. And then the display here is using SPI, so you've got basically both those buses in use on the BeagleBone here.
Yeah, and you're doing this for all of the most popular Adafruit sensors you're going through and creating a cross-platform library. So you've got GPIO and I2C so far.
Exactly, yeah, and SPI. Yep, yeah. So yeah, we're ready to rock and roll. We'll start getting some more sensors and things like that in the next few weeks.
You're past the hard part, which is just getting the base structure down.
Exactly.
Many coats of primer. It's one of those like cars where it's like 70 coats of primer. It's like 70 Python libraries, and then you can start. It's like the same with Arduino. Like we started with like so many base libraries, but then that's very easy to add on top. Okay.
Exactly.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Tony, and happy Day of Making to you.
Happy Day of Making.
Okay. Next up, Noah and Pedro. What are you working on this week? This looks exciting.
Yeah, this week we're working on mounting adapters for NeoPixel rings to go on the bottom of the 3DR Iris. And we also have prop guards to protect your lovely propellers. So if you have like a hard crash, you're in a good shape if you crash, because it will happen.
Or like any type of flying, you are sure to crash. It's not if, it's when. So yeah, these
also the legs are 3D printed in PET material, which is like a really strong impact filament. So it's really 3 pieces that are kind of sandwiched together with these machine screws. And it's really easy to print them out, and we have a learning guide on the Adafruit Learning System, and there's a full circuit diagram and videos coming out tomorrow.
Yes. All right.
So when we hear mysterious reports of UFOs,
because us, yeah.
We'll talk to you guys.
I like how you're like, well, we made these 3D printed prop guards, and then we just blinged them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did start off as a more sort of practical thing, but flying at night safely is a lot better with lights on it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and what's funny, this is a little bit of a small world as far as like day of making. So 3D Robotics is the company founded by Chris Anderson, who is the editor-in-chief, who was there when you were on the Wired cover as a maker. The Rosie the Riveter pose was made. And then he was just recently on the Popular Mechanics cover, and it says makers. And
Yeah.
I think he was either there or tweeting about this day of making.
Yeah.
And then other mill just got funding, and they make the little machine,
And he funded them.
and he's part of that too.
Yeah,
So
he was at Angel Round, so this
Yeah.
is like a big happy family.
yeah, so maker's gonna make.
The family that makes together
Stays
makes
together. Okay,
Yeah,
well, thank you so much, Noah and Pedro. And tonight on Ask an Engineer, we're going to show, because we're always 1 week different from what's coming up on 3D Thursday. If you want to see how to make a 3D printed AdaBot, that'll be on the show tonight.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Okay, thanks so much. Okay, next up, Andrew. Hello, Andrew. Unmute your mic and show us your project.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. I have two things kind of to show you. You can hear me all right, right?
Yeah.
Yep, you sound great.
Okay. Awesome. So the first thing I'm going to show you, because it's finished, is something that I actually was working on a long time ago. And I think someone on the blog found it on my Instagram page because it showed up on the blog one day. I was kind of like surprised to see it on there.
Yeah, we kind of look around and we see, if it says Adafruit on it, we're like, hey, cool project.
No, that's totally cool. It made my day when I saw it on there, but I thought I'd show it off on Show and Tell as well. So I mean, all I have is my MacBook camera, so it makes it super hard to do this kind of thing. But this is a little gamepad that I made I'm obsessed with Altoids tins because it's sometimes the easiest enclosure for me to use. But yeah, you can see I brought some LEDs up to the surface, and it's just a bunch of those tactile button switches and a whole ton of Sugru on top of what is actually on the inside a permaproto. So yeah, I like cut the inside of the lid completely out and put the permaproto in its place and have all of the buttons there and all the wires in the back hooked up to, of course, the Bluefruit Easy Key. And I'm actually working on remapping the buttons because for some reason some emulators get confused with some keyboard buttons, and I think numbers sometimes work better. I don't know why. So I'm actually going to change the mapping.
Tab, it's like, yeah, they mean something special, or like some emulators, they remap the number key for like save points and stuff.
Yeah, so I'm going to be safe and play around with the mapping and try something different. I would do a screen share, but this thing is so confusing. Oh wait, here we go. Let's see if I can do it real quick and I can show you guys some functionality. This top, okay. Okay, so you can see my screen now, right?
Hey, that's us.
Yeah, we see us.
Okay,
now we see
Donut
you.
Plains. Where's
In
your
the
email?
notepad. Oh, you can see me now?
Oh no, so your notes.
Oh, okay, cool. So you can see I'm just pressing the buttons here.
That's the CIA that sees your email.
Okay, so we'll close that before they snoop.
Okay, you're all good.
And now we'll run the emulator.
Okay, Donut Plains.
Yeah, it's a total classic, right? So it's pretty good. Right now I'm noticing with this mapping that for some reason I can get the A button to work but not the B. So I can only do the spinny jump, which is kind of goofy, but
that's cool.
Yeah, but yeah, it works pretty well. Once I get the mapping working, then I won't have to spin every time I jump, but yeah.
All right. Look at you.
Yeah,
this is great.
Excellent stuff. So the first two folks were on Team Adafruit. You, however, get as seen on the Show and Tell sticker, so make sure you email support@adafruit.com. Tony and Noah and Pedro have an endless supply. They have a dispenser now. That just
Can I show you guys one more thing real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, sorry. This is something that I really want to show super bad, and I was debating whether or not to do it, but I'm going to go ahead and show it anyway.
Come on, just do it. Come on.
Okay, so it's in a super early stage, and I'm going to go with the impulse and show you. But this is something that I'm working on. Actually, Tony is kind of helping me in the forums to get it working. But what I really want to do is just kind of make a Bluetooth or Bluefruit LE kind of notification center for my car. So I've just got, right now I'm working with the Sharp memory display, and I've also got like a bigger OLED that I might use instead just because then when I'm driving at night I can see it too. But yeah, so far I've been able to get it to work with just the EZ-Link, and I can push messages to the display, but I'm working on getting it all working so I can just like push notifications from my cell phone to the display and kind of have a more hands-free kind of make your dumb car smart car kind of deal.
Cool. That's
Excellent.
Intense.
Yeah.
Are you
it's
using
gonna push me.
Is Bluetooth Low Energy on Android? Is it what you're using?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've
Good
got
luck
an
with that.
Android. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'll probably do everything kind of bit by bit as I figure out how to manage each thing. But the first thing I want to just be able to do is at least push messages to it. So Tony's kind of helping me figure that out. And even if for now the only functionality I could get to do it is manually push like a reminder to it, so I can like have like little reminders in my car, I'd be happy with that for the time being as I figure out how to do more complicated things.
Okay. Maybe
if it doesn't work, by the way, it's Android's fault. Android Bluetooth Low Energy is like so not ready for prime time.
All right.
Yet.
Well, we'll give Tony a sticker maybe now, anyways, if you can help me out.
All
All right. Next up, since we have some folks, so make sure you guys keep it in a couple minutes. Mark,
Okay.
Bob. Hey, Bob, come by and show us your project.
Hi guys, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound great.
Okay. This is a, I'm not seeing myself here yet.
I know what this is, and we see you.
Okay.
This is
yeah, I know what this is.
For a boombox, and this is an empty frame, so I want to show you what it looked like unpopulated. So this is quarter-inch acrylic. It started out as a sheet 18 inches by 24 inches, so it's laser cut, and then it's heat bent into a U-shaped frame. Now turn the camera around so we can see the finished product.
There it is. This is the NeoPixel boombox, right?
Yeah.
Yes, boombox.
Everything boombox.
Yeah.
And we're going to play something that's dear to your heart.
All right. Bob is super smart because if we play anything else, the YouTube robot will get us for copyright infringement. That's our song. We own the song.
That's Tom's song.
Yeah, so go get a takedown notice for your own song.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get that.
We have.
All right, this is excellent. So can you tell us a little bit about this?
Yes. So we've got 2 NeoPixel 12 rings and a Shure 8 by 32 LED matrix. And this is using the Spectrum Shield from SparkFun that uses MSG EQ7 ICs, 2 of them, to do a breakout of the audio frequencies into just 7 arbitrary bands. And so it maps the bands on the LED matrix, it's mapping the bands directly. And then on the NeoPixels, I got some code from a guy named Chris Wilson on YouTube that he had a VU meter function for a large strip of 60 NeoPixels, and I converted that to the circular ones. And I tweaked it to be just sort of towards the blue color instead of all different colors. And then it's using the Adafruit 20-watt D-Class amp and 2 of the Sony speakers.
How's it sound? It's good? Good and loud?
Yes. Yes, I can do something else for you for a few seconds if you want to, like I can do Back in Black.
No, we better not, because I think they're going crazy with the video takedowns. We want to make sure everyone can see this. But Bob, be ready at the end of the show and tell. We'll come to you, and maybe you can play that tune on the way out. All right.
Okay.
So Bob,
thank you so much,
email support@adafruit.com. You get the SC on Show and Tell sticker. That'll look excellent on that boombox.
Great tutorial.
All right, next up we're going to go to Aaron, and then after that we're going to go to Lewis. We'll tell everybody who's on deck. Aaron, hello. Welcome back to Show and Tell. Show us some robots.
Well, it's not really a robot project. What I was wondering about was how to create a multiplayer game with hardware interfaces on iOS. So communicating with not just one, like Bluetooth Low Energy device, but 2. So I began with creating a really simple protocol just to communicate from Arduino to the other devices. I call it Promulgate, which is a synonym for like communication. You can send it any stream object and for input parsing and sending output messages. At the moment it's only UDP, and I created adaptations for it in processing and Objective-C. So this is what the basic protocol looks like. Oh wait, hang on a second. Oops. This is what the basic protocol looks like. So it's really simple.
Okay.
Basically, action, command, key, comma, value, delimiter.
Okay.
Here it is in action. This is the basic app, and so you can connect to UART. Yeah, and so, all right, it's up here. You can see what the iOS device is receiving, and then we can also send out messages to control these two LEDs. So there's on, off for that one, and you can also just send it various messages as well.
Whoa.
That's cool. See, there's robots involved with this. I knew there'd be a robot somewhere.
Yeah, but the thing is that the way the robot was controlled was not via Bluetooth, but via an XBee. So with the library, I'm able to just really simply forward messages. So I create a pretty cool mesh network, and then on this module, it actually even can display what messages are being sent on the LCD from the XBee.
Yeah, because the Bluetooth Low Energy is point-to-point. It's on a mesh network. So you have to do a bridge between XBee, which is mesh, and Bluetooth Low Energy, which is point-to-point.
Sort of. Well, that's what I thought at first. But you can set up a round-robin sort of system to connect and disconnect very rapidly between modules. And so this part is actually the really interesting part, because I was able to make it work somewhat. And hopefully the round-robin demo will work. What it should do is connect to one of the modules first. So this shows that it's connected, and the LED blinking is what the iOS device is sending to the module. And then after a countdown timer expires, then it will skip to the next module and start connecting and sending data there. And so since it's a round-robin system, it will do this forever. And if it can't connect to one module, then it will just try again and then skip back to the first one or the previous one.
Okay. That's one way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, except that there's one problem.
What's that?
With the Blue Giga BLE 1112, or sorry, 112, I can't, it just keeps messing up. So it says that it's getting data that isn't even being sent, whereas your NRF 8001, that isn't the case. And with yours, it's actually way faster. Like, the connect and disconnect times are super fast. And then this one is super slow, and I can't even get the whole system to do a countdown timer of like 3 seconds. It has to be 10 seconds because this one is lagging the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, there could be a reason. The NRF 8001 is super fast. I mean, it can connect in like a second. It's incredibly fast. One thing you can do, it's a little advanced, but you can post on the forums, is you can change the identifier data for the NRF 8001, so you can have multiple of them with different names, but you have to use this Nordic tool. So if you post on the forums, we'll point to you how to get to it. So you can have them like called controller 1, controller 2. You can have multiple ones if you want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool to know, because
it's not easy, but you can do it. It's like you have to use this tool, and it's like an XML document, and you compress it and upload it. It's a little weird.
Okay.
You can do it.
All right, Aaron, email support@adafruit.com. You get a As Seen on the Show and Tell sticker. If you do this crazy thing with the Nordic tool, maybe we'll send you another one.
I know. You get two for getting the Nordic tool working.
Low energy Bluetooth thing. Okay, we're going to go to Lewis next. Lewis, hello, welcome back.
Hey, so yeah, I've been playing with Octoprint on the... Okay, I'll switch this camera. On the Raspberry Pi. So, like right now, I'm sending a print wirelessly to my printer bot.
Oh, wow.
It's just Mr. Jaws. So, I was going to have a really good way to show this on my laptop, but then it stopped working. So, here's basically the interface. It's just browser controlled. And so you can do basic control on here. and then you just upload a G-code file from like repeater or host, and then you can just print it off really easily, and you can. It was working, but now I'm having issues. But you could get a webcam to go on there, so you could like check the progress, and it can even do a time lapse video, and you can view your G-code terminal, and you can just do a lot of. It's really pretty powerful.
That's cool.
So this is a Wi-Fi printer bot controller on the Raspberry Pi?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm using Ethernet just for now, but you can definitely do Wi-Fi.
That's cool. You're putting in a high-end feature as seen in some of the commercial 3D printers.
Yeah.
In an open source printer with open source software. So
that's great. I mean, like before you know it, you'll be able to be like on vacation in Bermuda and like 3D printing Mr. Jaws at home.
It's a new modern need.
It's a new modern
If I'm not home, I still want to 3D print. Okay, well, Lewis, you get As Seen on the Show and Tell sticker. Nicely done. Good work.
Yeah, this is cool. I think this is so great. I like the SD card thing. It's so passe.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, we're going to go to Paul, and then we're going to wrap up with Nicholas, and then we'll go back to Bob for the music on the way out. So, Paul, show us your project.
Real brief.
Oh, you're a little low, Paul. Can you...
Am I?
Yeah, your microphone. We can barely hear you.
The volume. Maybe you're covered up here. I'm going to take it off. Can you hear me better now?
No, you're a little low, so you know what this means.
Oh, no.
Maker Charades.
I can kind of hear it.
It's Maker Charades, so show us your project, and we'll guess what it is.
I'm going to flip the...
All right. There's buttons.
There's buttons. It's like a keyboard.
And that looks like a blue fruit.
I think, yeah, there's a blue fruit, and it's also some sort of button controller. Oh, it's a chording keyboard or something?
Yep.
No, not a chording keyboard.
Typing.
It's his own keyboard, maybe. Let me see if I can turn this up. Oh, he's typing in something.
Yeah, you should type in what it is.
Oh, yeah, you can do that. Well, he might not have all the letters, though. It's H, E.
This is not a chording keyboard. It looks a lot like a chording keyboard.
All right.
And they vibrate, too.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's like a haptic feedback thing.
Yep. So they can send you messages back.
This is a haptic keyboard. Congratulations, Lady Ada. You get Maker Charades.
No, I didn't guess. You guessed it. Yep. I was like,
no pager motors on there.
I thought it was a chording keyboard. I thought those were little keypads. That's cute. I like the idea of the buzzer. That's a good idea.
So you can feel messages coming back to you.
Oh, okay. So then, you feel messages come back too. This is awesome.
That's cool. This is the future.
I've got the C3000 here with the Spark Core. Eventually, I'm going to try to send messages back and forth through like Twitter or maybe SMS or something. Okay.
All right, Paul. Well, take some photos of this too and send it to us. We'll do a post when you're ready on the Adafruit blog and email support@adafruit.com. And thank you for playing Maker Charades.
Yeah.
All right, Nicholas.
Nicholas.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
So what I'm showing today is what I call LCDuino. One of the difficulties with using an Uno for prototyping is that it's tough to get the pins to a prototyping to a breadboard. So I designed this thing. This is the combination, kind of the Franken combination of the Adafruit RGB LCD Shield and an Uno all on one little backpack board. So what happens is you have a ribbon cable connection here to this that plugs very conveniently into a breadboard, and then you can take the pins to whatever your circuit is that way. If you have a whole bunch of investment in like shields, and I also made this shield adapter, which plugs in nicely. Now if I put the phone down for a second and hook it back up, I'll show you that in action.
Okay.
Really quick.
You went dark.
Yeah. Well, so I put the phone down because.
Oh, okay.
Do this.
Okay. I was like.
We get a close up of the desk.
It's a really close up.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's. Nope. I'm off by one row.
Oh boy.
No, it's okay.
This is the downfall of Arduino.
This is the Olympic sport.
It is hard to
well, that's why shields are such a pain.
Yeah, it's true.
But if you got a bunch, I do have the shield adapter, so that makes it work. So I plug in the barrel connector here.
You got some good-looking avocados there, too.
All right, there. So this is a GPS shield, and this is a GPS clock.
Okay.
So there you go.
Oh, I see. Yes, what time it is.
Yeah.
Time.
So on the side, that's a micro USB port. That is, you can plug that into your computer, and it will either power the thing or you can upload sketches that way. You just tell the Arduino IDE that it's an Uno, and it works. It works with the Adafruit RGB LCD Shield library, or I also actually, there's a third-party one called Liquid I2C that works as well. I don't have it to show here right now, but I've also got a button board. You see this connector over here has all of the button switches inputs that are on the shield. So there's a button board that will go off on the side, and this is really nice because you can mount this thing in whatever way that you would normally mount an 80 by 36 LCD module, but it's got the Uno on the back, and then you can plug that into whatever your auxiliary circuit is. So you can prototype with it, and it also can be the brains of whatever thing you want to have.
Okay, sounds very nice. It's very elegant. I like it.
I like the idea of the Arduino Plus, like putting all that smarts in it with what you need.
And I love these RGB LEDs. I got these a while ago, and they're so fun. Like even if you don't have full like PWM control, they're still like fun to yellow, green, red. Because that's a really good indicator. Because LCDs always have kind of iffy contrast.
And like it's tough enough to prototype a brand new thing on Arduino without having like 2 lines of text output for debugging and stuff. This just knowing that this works and it's just a no-brainer to use really makes creating the next thing a whole lot easier.
All right, thank you.
Okay, well, Nicholas, email us at support@adafruit.com. You get an as seen on the show and tell sticker for the special
on the back there.
Day of Making, June 18th, and everyone, Tony and Paul and Noah and Pedro and Nicholas and Lewis and Aaron and Andrew and
like 3D printing robot.
Bob, play us out. Here we go. Alright. It sounds better when you make the boombox yourself. Alright, everyone, we'll see you on Ask an Engineer in 2 minutes. Bye-bye.